It's kind of crazy, but today I wanted to bring you a chilled reading of Throne and Liberty patch notes for the 21st of August. The idea of this video is, of course, to provide you with information about the new update, but also to give you something to listen to before you go to bed, or as you're making your morning coffee and just starting your day. Basically, the main goal is to supply the information in a very relaxed and chilled way. As you can imagine, a lot of the auto translation is scuffed, so I apologize in advance. A lot of this I'm gonna be reading as it is on the page. So if you don't understand something, don't worry. You can always look up the links in the description later and figure out if you've missed anything important. For now, relax and enjoy these patch notes. This is the Toland update, and the patch notes are split into two parts. Part 1 is about new territory Toland and new content. Part 2 is about battle balance revamp and system improvements. New territory Toland is opened and chronicles begin again. Various regions and hunting grounds in Toland are added. Regional events with new rules, Quidditch content, Forest of Giant Trees, and Silent Marsh are opened. The new region occupation battle will be updated on Wednesday, September 11th. I'm guessing this is either Riftstones and Boonstones in the new territory, or it could be another siege. A new field dungeon opens and a new field boss appears. Field boss Dagon appears on the Isle of Despair in Quidditch Conquest. A new field dungeon, Temple of Truth, is added. Update contents. The level at which your character can grow is expanded. The character maximum growth level has been expanded to level 55. Stat breakpoint 70 has been added to strength, dexterity, wisdom, and perception. The life skills, the maximum level has been expanded to level 25. The level of the growth journal content linked to character level expansion will be expanded, and missions will be added. Maximum level is increased to level 55. When you grow an additional level, you will obtain status points. Skill specialization points are not additionally acquired when leveling up. For the breakpoint of 70 strength, you'll get additional max health 450, melee defense 200, range defense 200. For dexterity breakpoint 70, you'll get additional critical hit 60, all evasion 120. For wisdom breakpoint 70, you'll get max mana 450, mana regeneration 120. For perception breakpoint 70, you're gonna get accuracy 60, status effect accuracy 100. Expanding your standard of living. The maximum level of life skilling, fishing, cooking, and amateur expedition has been expanded to level 25. Depending on your fishing level, the probability of finding higher level fish in your hunting grounds increases. New recipes are unlocked depending on your cooking level. Depending on the amateur expedition level, you can send an expedition to the Toland expedition area. Growth diary or leveling log. Added missions and achievements to the leveling log to cover level 51 to level 55. Added the leveling log pass to cover levels 51 to 55. The leveling log pass has been divided into the premium leveling log for levels 1 to 50 and royal leveling log for levels 51 to 55. Some of the locations of growth missions for level 1 to 50 have been changed. There's a table of different missions, and they basically reshuffled the existing level for these missions. There's a table of different quests, and they basically reshuffled the required level for all these missions. 3-star dimension, Forest of Grudge is added. A new 3-star dimensional dungeon will be released every other Wednesday, every 2 weeks. The existing Contract Token Dimension will be divided into Contract Token Dimension 1 and Dimension 2. In addition to Paola's dimension, Dimension Jin has been added. In fact, 5 types of 3-star dungeons have been added. The 3-star Dimension Jin dungeons will be open sequentially every 2 weeks, starting with Forest of Grudge, King, and Zajin. To enter the 3-star dimension, only characters with level of 55 and a minimum of combat power 3500 can use it. Party matching is not supported for 3-star Dimension Jin. Proof of Contract Dimension. Tokens for Dimension 2 have been added. Proof of Contract Dimension 2 is used to obtain rewards from 3-star Dimension Jin. Proof of Contract Dimension 2 will be added to characters level 55 and above. The existing Proof of Contract Dimension 1 is used to obtain rewards for Dimension Jin under level 50, 1-star Dimension Jin, and 2-star Dimension Jin. Proof of Contract Dimension 1 and Dimension 2 are charged by 900 every day, up to a maximum of 4,500. Or for holders of Blessing of Silicium, maximum is 6,000. Some content will be adjusted to improve your playing experience. The numbers of dimensional passages for Field Boss in Peace Mode increases up to a maximum of 5 depending on the number of participants. The congestion level and the number of participating guild members will be displayed on the dimensional passages of the Field Boss and Arc Boss in Peace Mode. The criteria for obtaining rewards from elite monsters is applied based on individual contribution. Battle regional events will be held less frequently. Field Boss. The number of dimensional passages in the Field Boss has been changed to increase based on the number of people playing the game. The more people are connected, the more gates will be created, up to a maximum of 5. This does not apply to level 55 Field Bosses in Arc Boss and Toland. The congestion of people who have entered the dimensional passageway for Field Bosses and Peace Arc Bosses is displayed above the dimensional passageway, and the number of people who have entered the passageway are displayed as members of the same guild. So basically you'll see how many members of your guild have entered one or another portal. Number of people entering the interior is displayed as smooth, crowded, or saturated. For elite monsters, the criteria for obtaining rewards from elite monsters has been changed from first attack priority to personal contribution. So now even if the elite mob is tagged, you might get rewards based on your personal contribution. Local events. Change the number of regional events in the faction war to be less frequent. After all regional events in Toland are open, the faction battle will be changed to open at most once. How I'm understanding this is there's gonna be only one faction battle across the whole Toland region. Remove the increased stamina buff applied to monsters in some regional events and reduce the amount of event items dropped. Change so that the conflict field boss does not drop event items when killed during a regional event. Field Dungeon added a skill to counter long-range skills when a close-range monster tracks a target without attacking it for 20 seconds. Dimensional Djinn. In the battle with Kima King, the Temple of Roar, the statue latch has been modified so that the tranquilizer is activated when only 2 people interact with it. Now it's easier to activate the latch. Instead of 4 people having to interact, only 2 need to interact with it. The explosion range of the explosive Bighorn Sheep in Slaughterous Canyon has been increased from 60 to 70 meters. Life skills. Fishing. New fish and fishing rods are added, and the presentation is improved. 24 new species of fish can be caught in Toland, some of which only appear in certain environments. Fishing camera animation is added, and throwing the float is disabled while reeling in the catch. New fish added. 24 new species of fish can be caught in the Toland area. Some fish, such as squid, that can only be caught at night, appear depending on the environment. You can obtain materials for crafting new Arc Boss weapons with a low probability from the big bag and small bag that can be obtained while fishing. With the addition of new items, the probability of obtaining items from the big bag and small bag has changed. Fishing rod added. 4 new fishing rods have been added and can be obtained randomly when crafting or using content. Obsidian fishing rod is rare and obtained through production. Whisperian fishing rod is a hero rarity and obtained according to a set probability during the Amito expedition. Golden fishing rod, hero blue rarity, and obtained as a set probability from Toland's Mystic Portal. The Luz Noah fishing rod is a hero rarity and obtained randomly from the conquest reward of Arc Boss the Luz Noah. Improved fishing. Fishing scenes have been added. Fishing line animation has been added. Added fishing camera animation where the camera moves to follow the bait and fish while fishing. Disable that, and the fishing camera is seen in settings. Fishing behavior has been improved. Changed throw the float to not activate while reeling in a fish. Change fish settings. Size is now applied to fish, and only small fish can be melted to make bait fish meat. Fish size can be checked in the fish tooltip. Life skilling, cooking. New recipes are added and some systems are reorganized. Added 10 new cooking recipes and forage items. The acquisition method for the elixir items has been changed from cooking to making. The source or amount of cooking ingredients will change. The 10 recipes: maru pie, mushroom stew, canned salted fish, grilled fish, and others. New collectibles added. New collectibles that can be obtained in the Toland region have been added, and the rewards for collecting them are as follows. Carnelian Cherry Tree. You can get Toland Maru, Mysterious Tree, New Friend of the Forest. Yes, you can get some Amitoys from gathering in the Toland region. When riding a Minotrite, you can collect the following items and you will get more items than in a normal field. When collecting Minotrite items, there is a low chance of obtaining the Pure White Sage Easy Amitoy. I guess you're gonna get another, well, not a Gigantrite, but a Minutrite, a new whale, and you can gather resources and get an Amitoy from it. Added Elixir Recipe. The 5 types of elixir items: excellent attack, defense elixirs, rare attack, defense, and purification elixirs that could previously be made through crafting have been changed to be made through cooking. Now you can make elixirs via cooking and not crafting. When the potion is greatly successful, you will receive 2. Even if it's a great success, no tradable items will appear. Changes in the cooking ingredient supply. Change so that the same cooking ingredients can be purchased at all general stores. The egg item, which had separate purchase restrictions for each village, has been integrated so that you can purchase up to 30 per day. The drop rate of cooking ingredients dropped from field masters has been increased. Now you don't have to go to separate villages to purchase 10 eggs each. You can just purchase 30 eggs per day. UI improvements. Change so that the alternative material area is not exposed when there is no alternative material. Life skills Amito Expedition. A new expedition area has been added and improved the usability of Enter Amitoy House button. Added some Toland expedition areas, 6 of them for the Amitoy expeditions. You can obtain the following items with a certain probability from the expedition bag that can be obtained as an expedition reward. You can obtain 1 new fishing rod, 1 wild transformation, and 1 Amitoy with a low probability. You can obtain materials for crafting new arc-boss weapons with a low probability. Amitoy House changed so that the teleportation is not cancelled when clicking the Amitoy House entrance button continuously. The regular season of the arena begins, with weekly missions, grades and rankings, and corresponding rewards. When matching in the arena, the weapons that can be equipped by each team are limited. Dev comment. We will begin the regular season by improving the arena content through the data collected during the pre-season and the many opinions you have given us. In particular, we wanted to adjust the party balance through the weapon restriction system, resolve the advantages, disadvantages according to weapon configuration. Even during the regular season, we'll carefully collect your opinions and continue to improve. Arena regular season. Pre-season ranking points will be reset at the start of the regular season of the arena. In the regular season, individual and team matches are separated and grades and rankings are provided. Compensation. In the regular season, rewards are provided according to the rank at the end of the season, and the rewards will be revealed through an update on Wednesday, September 4th. Weekly missions will be released through an update on Wednesday, September 4th. Weapon restrictions. The weapons that can belong to your team and your opponent's team are limited. They are applied based on the weapon and preset equipped at the start of the matching. If you change weapons while waiting for a match, it will be considered as rejecting the match. Rule changes. When in robbery mode, the time taken to be forcibly moved from the resurrection location to the arena has been changed from 30 seconds to 10 seconds. So during the robbery mode, you're gonna be forced to enter the arena quicker. Improve the display of the characters that have escaped from the game. The increase or decrease in ranking points per match is displayed in the record window. The Gateway of Infinity is temporarily suspended. As previously announced, we will be taking a 2-week break. Gateway of Infinity. The operation of Infinite Gateway content will be suspended for a while. It will resume in 2 weeks with a higher difficulty dungeon. Current dungeon, Revenge and Resurrection, will be operated and rewards will be obtained even after the dungeon is finished. New territory, Toland related growth, collection elements have been added. 154 new pieces of equipment have been added. New equipment has been applied to various acquisition locations. A new equipment rubbing book has been added. 11 new transformations, 10 Amitoys and 5 Guardians have been added and can be obtained by playing the Toland region. A new divine creature, Minutrite, has been added, and Minutrite appears when performing an event in the Silent Marsh area. New Toland equipment has been added to the list of rewards obtainable through material conversion equipment and weekly missions. Toland Origin Stone and Dimension Stone occupation battles are scheduled for a later update. The developer's letter in Toland will be updated in the future. New equipment added. 7 obsidian weapons added. Obsidian weapons can be crafted by collecting obsidian fragments, which can be obtained by defeating dwarves in the Black Anvil Garrison. You can craft it through the obsidian weapon crafting NPC Krandas, who wanders around Black Anvil Garrison and Herba Village. Weapons are Black Moro Giant Sword, Black Moro Voile Peak, Black Moro Wing Bow, Black Moro Dark Hand, Black Moro Extinction Sword, Black Moro Sword, Black Moro Nansa Palace. Please check in-game for more equipment that can be obtained from fields, cooperative dungeons, and field bosses. New rubbing book or lithographs have been added. Added a collection of items that can be used as materials for Toland equipment. Please check in-game for added equipment and registered items in the rubbing shop. New Amitoy added. Added 10 types of Amitoy that can be obtained in the Toland region. New transformations. Added 11 new morphs obtainable in the Toland region. Added 5 new Guardians that can be obtained while progressing through the Codex. Gloomy Jester Barbason is a demon type. All status abnormality hits increase by 300 and status abnormality resistance increase by 300. True Defender Pluto. When summoned, there is 80% chance that up to 10 people within 5 meters will be pulled around the caster. Endurance increased by 30 for each target pulled in during the summoning. Fiery Archer. When summoned, creates a wind curtain that surrounds the caster in a 5-meter radius. Party members inside the wind curtain have their ranged evasion and magic evasion increased by 200 and their attack speed increased by 10. Soundless Mage. Skill recovery amount increases by 25% and party members within 15-meter radius are cured of abnormal status. Remove all and restores 8% of maximum health over 5 seconds. Wild Enchanter. All attack power increased by 3%, accuracy increases by 100, and skill reuse speed increases by 5%. Party members within a 15-meter radius will be affected for 5 seconds. Material conversion and weekly missions. New Toland equipment has been added to the list of random equipment rewards for weekly missions. New Toland equipment has been added to the rewards obtainable through material conversion. There's a lot of new rewards through material conversion. Crafting materials for Arc Boss. Crafting materials for Arc Boss weapon are integrated, and you can obtain the integrated items by melting existing material items. The reward for destroying Arc Boss parts will be changed. Dev comment: among the weapon materials of Arc Boss, some weapon groups could only be crafted as separate items, such as Inner Core, Skeleton, and Abyss. However, unlike weapons that can be made relatively easy through tradable fragments, the difficulty of making them increases. It is true that there were some inconveniences because there were differences in weapons. The Loose Noah and Giant Brook, which are added to Toland, were created with the aim of unifying and the crafting materials to solve this problem. We decided that this part should also be applied to the existing Arc Bosses, Queen Blendy and Tevent. In order to prevent damage to those who have collected existing materials, we plan to convert them into changed materials through melting. We also plan to increase the reward acquisition amount and probability for various existing related contests. Arc Boss production materials. The crafting materials for Queen Blendy and Tevent weapons have been combined into Queen Blendy's Soul Fragment and Tevent's Soul Fragment. All Arc Boss weapons have been changed to be crafted directly with one special material, Tevent's Soul Fragment, Queen Blendy's Soul Fragment, without an intermediate crafting step. When melting a material item that was being crafted using fragments, the number of fragments corresponding to the original quantity required for crafting is paid. Production details. Queen Blendy weapon requires new Queen Blendy Soul Fragment 180 pieces. Tevent weapons requires a Soul Fragment of Tevent 180 pieces. Dissolution details. One Queen Blendy Shell Fragment converts to 3 Queen Blendy Soul Fragments when dissolved. Full Queen Blendy Shell, Blendy Abyss, dissolves into 180 Queen Blendy Soul Fragments, and Queen Blendy Inner Core dissolves into 60 Queen Blendy Soul Fragments. Skeleton of Tevent dissolves into 180 Soul Fragments, and the Soul of Tevent dissolves into 60 Soul Fragments. Arc Boss related rewards. The items Queen Blendy's Shell and Tevent's Skeleton that were given as compensation for destroying Queen Blendy and Tevent's parts have been changed to Queen Blendy's Soul Fragment and Tevent's Soul Fragment. The material obtainable from Queen Blendy's body fluid that drops from Queen Blendy appearing in the Moonlight Desert has been changed to Queen Blendy's Soul Fragment, and the acquisition amount has been increased. So it looks like now you can get some soul fragments by interacting with Queen Bellendir that appears in the desert. The amount of Tevent's soul fragments that can be obtained when defeating soul-controlled monsters that appear in the Terrain Ruins has been increased. Probability of obtaining Arc Boss weapon materials from Arc Boss contest participation reward boxes has been increased. Rewards that can be obtained through part destruction will be changed to integrated materials, and the amount obtained will be greatly increased. We've improved the overall gameplay experience across the Adventure Codex and significantly reduced the difficulty. The movement and operation paths have been modified to ensure smooth progress. We've adjusted the balance of sections that may feel like hurdles by relaxing or removing progress goals. Dev comment. The Adventure Codex is intended to serve as a background for you to better understand and enjoy the world of TL as a Starbearer. However, it is true that in the past, stories about the surroundings or regions were more prevalent than the adventurer's own stories, and the effect did not live up to expectations. With this Toland update, we've improved the Adventure Codex to give adventurers more control over their stories and goals, and we've modified the overall story flow and gameplay in the first half to better convey the main enemy, the Archaean Legion. We strengthened some of the lacking explanations and directing and removed the repetitive movement conversation-oriented parts that were unrelated to the scenario development. We also minimized the inconveniences of having to wait for the same target to be manipulated. We hope you'll immerse yourself in TL's captivating story with our improved early adventure codex. I also have a small wish that someday you will enjoy the adventure codex slowly without skipping. It looks like they've removed a lot of this adventure codex, the side missions, and I actually liked having to do them at the early walkthrough of the game. Now when we did Hyper Boost, we could completely skip all the blue missions, and I believe that if you're playing the game for the first time and you're able to skip all of that, you're not going to be familiar with the world as those people that had to do it at the beginning. But we'll see what these changes really are. Adventure Codex changes. Basically a huge section of what quests are changing exactly. This is best experienced by going through the leveling experience yourself and seeing what changed rather than trying to read these translations of the quest names. Not gonna be useful. Player character appearance changes. The luminous stone located on the character's waist has been removed to allow for more diverse expression of character costumes. Glowstones, a type of light that shines with the power of star fragments, will be removed. This is a great change and has been requested for a long time. There is this little cosmetic stone on the waist of every character that interferes with different costumes and skins, and is finally getting removed. There's a list of other changes and minor content system error corrections that you can read. I will leave the link to these patch notes in the description of the video below. Now let's move on to the second part of this update: battle balance revamp and system improvements. Battle balance has been adjusted. Weapon-specific combat balance has been adjusted. Boss damage amplification function has been added to some skills of two-handed swords, daggers, longbows, and staffs. Due to the overall balance adjustments, 10 skill conversion scrolls will be sent to you via mail. Details such as the payment schedule will be announced separately. Longsword, dev comment. Counterattack barrier specialization was planned as a skill that seeks the opportunity for a one-hit reversal when the concept of gathering damage and using it. Counterattack barrier, it was not being utilized very well because its effect itself was good. Accordingly, we would like to increase its usability by providing damage along with counterattack's barrier. Hostility increased values have been increased across the board. Those that further increase existing hostility will not be upgraded. Counter barrier improved so that the counter attack damage is applied simultaneously during the maintenance time when using the barrier of condensation specialization. When shield defense increases for 3 seconds after barrier of condensation ends, counter attack damage is not applied. Waves of Pain, Roar of Incision, the effect will not be applied to the target as well. Law of Revival fixed an issue where the growth effect was not displayed when the level grew. Greatsword, dev comment, because the Greatsword showed lower performance than expected compared to other weapons in boss battles specifically. To ensure performance in this area, the performance of key skills has been improved. However, the performance shown in PvP has improved, and the overall PvP defensibility of the characters has been improved along with the correction of errors in some skills. We will monitor the situation and make further adjustments. Brave Slap. Damage to bosses increased 100%. Fixed an issue where the cooldown reduction effect was not applied in certain situation. One Hit Fatal. Damage to bosses increased by 80%. Guillotine Blade. Damage to bosses increased by 100%. The effect of reducing the amount of skill recovery received has been changed to reducing the amount of recovery received. Wedge Dash. Wedge Charge fixed an issue where additional use animation did not appear on the skill icon after use. First Destruction. The issue where the skill's range would change when applying the increased application probability specialization has been fixed. The issue where the stun probability was abnormally applied to PC targets when applying the increased application probability specialization has been fixed. Looks like for the mass stun, the range would increase if you use the increased stun chance skill expression, and that has been fixed, as well as some issue with abnormal stun probability. So we'll see how that affects the mass stun. Winner's Morale, modified so that the amount of mana recovery is displayed. Dagger. Dev comment. In the case of daggers, they show high performance when combined with crossbows, but when combined with weapons other than crossbows, they show relatively low performance in boss battles. To compensate for this, we plan to improve the boss battle performance of some skills. Basically improving the PvE aspects of daggers. Cruel Incision. Damage to boss increases 15%. Added content to remove Thundercloud effect when hit. Shadow Raid. Fixed an issue where the Shadow Escape specialization could be used while bound. Pump of Death. Damage to bosses increased by 40%. The effect of reducing the amount of skill recovery received has been changed to reducing the amount of recovery received. Black Wind Spirit. Skill type changes from attack to tactic. The issue where the skill order, Black Wind Spirit, Flying Dagger, was switched has been fixed. Throwing Knife. The effect of reducing the amount of skill recovery received has been changed to reducing the amount of recovery received. Crossbow. Dev comment. In the case of crossbow, the synergy between sizing opportunity and infiltration of selflessness allowed us to continuously keep the probability of activating the secondary weapon high. We adjusted this part once, but we decided that it was not a fundamental solution to the structure, so we had no choice but to adjust the skill mechanism. However, in PvP we want to provide the opportunity to increase DPS momentarily through your own play. Selfless infiltration has inherited some of the effect of seizing opportunity. The newly added living stack was designed to compensate for the lack of damage caused by the change in skill mechanism, while also allowing for combinations with various weapons. Selfless infiltration. The existing seize opportunity effect has been changed to apply for 6 seconds when selfless infiltration is used. The cooldown reduction effect triggered by using selfless infiltration cannot reduce the cooldown of selfless infiltration itself. The effect of removing binding and movement speed reduction has been removed from the basic effect and added to the remove abnormal status specialization effect. Condensed Vitality Recovery now has target penetration, increased movement skill distance, increased movement speed, and increased evasion effects. It is removed from the basic effect. The level growth effect of seizing opportunity will be changed to be included in the level growth effect of selfless infiltration. New skill, Living Stack. When an attack skill hits, skill damage amplification increases for 3 seconds. Living Stack can only be stacked once per skill and can be stacked up to 10 times. When there are 10 stacks, critical hit damage increases for 3 seconds and the stacks are not refreshed. The Seizing Opportunity skill will be deleted and the growth effect of the existing Seize Opportunity will be replaced with Living Stack. Multiple Shots fixed an issue where the skill icon would not change when selecting the Rapid Shot or Clash Shot specializations. Merciless Barrage fixed an issue where the skill icon would not change when selecting the Musu Rampage specialization. Mortal Mark. The effect of reducing the amount of skill recovery received has been changed to a reduction in the amount of recovery received. The issue where the skill icon would not change when selecting Mark of Detonation specialization has been fixed. Wind Snatcher. Modified so that the amount recovered is displayed when stamina is recovered. Mana Reduction. Modified so that the recovery amount is displayed when mana or stamina is recovered. Longbow. Dev comment. Wind Demonstrations increased damage according to the distance from the target feature was removed in the last update, but we have identified an issue that was occurring intermittently in certain situations. However, rather than removing it as originally intended, we decided to revive its function as we felt that it was necessary to further improve the individual abilities of the longbowman. Sniping of the Heart fixed an issue where the skill icon would not change when selecting the Bombing of Conversion specialization. Damage to bosses increased by 60%. Serial bombing damage to bosses increases by 15%. Flash Arrow. When selecting the Flash Wave specialization, the recovery effect is now applied unconditionally to the hit party member. Wind Protest. Damage increases depending on the distance difference from the target. Fixed an issue where the damage tooltip was displayed lower than the actual amount. Staff. Dev comment. The staff was expected to play a role as a pure dealer, pure DPS in the Magic series, but its boss battle performance was judged to be somewhat lacking compared to expectations. Accordingly, we have increased the performance of some skills by adding a boss damage amplification effect so that they can sufficiently perform their expected roles. Basically, most reductions are about PvE, or most changes are about PvE. Wand. Dev comment. Corruption Magic Circle's Hand of Corruption specialization has an error in that it is applied based on maximum damage, unlike other continuous damage. There was an issue where higher damage was being applied than intended, and the duration was not being refreshed where being applied. This has been modified in the same way as other sustained damage, but considering the current usage situation, the basic damage has been increased to compensate. Specialization of Corruption Magic Circle Hand of Corruption fixed an issue where the damage from Hand of Corruption specialization has been applied as maximum damage. Fixed an issue where the duration of Hand of Corruption would not be refreshed when using Hand of Corruption again, while the effect is in effect. Damage of the Hand of Corruption specialization has been increased. There's a table explaining how much damage has been increased at every level of the skill. Absolute Barrier. Considering the usability of Absolute Barrier, we increased the value so that it can block greater damage. Absolute Barrier damage protection value is increased. I think the barrier was strong already, not sure it needed to be increased, but let's see. Expanded target of use. The damage protection value of specialization is increased, so more buffs to the absolute barrier. Fixed an issue where increased range was not applied properly when only the specialization was activated. To increase the usability of Ray of Disaster, a new specialization has been added. Effect time concentration. Calamity's Ray's duration is reduced by 50% and the damage is amplified by 100. Fixed an issue where movement speed reduction specialization was not applied to additional target, and the issue where percentage was missing from the description was fixed. Nightmare Swamp. Fixed an issue where defense was impossible when specialization was applied. Fountain of Life. Fixed an issue where it would intermittently not apply in certain locations. Innocent Mind. Fixed an issue where Innocent Mind would activate even when it was not a used skill. Time of Retribution. The mana reduction amount of specialization has been modified to be displayed when hitting the opponent. New abilities have been added. For PvP balance, the damage received from interpersonal ability has been added. Character ability. Damage received from people decreases by 0.5% per level starting from level 31, decreasing to 10% at level 50. After level 51, the decrease remains at 10%. So this is basically a 10% damage reduction as soon as you reach level 50 all across the board. The acquisition levels of some skills and skill specialization acquisition levels have been adjusted. The initial acquisition level of skills is adjusted, and initial acquisition level of specialization has been adjusted. There is a table explaining when people will get their skills after this change. Due to the increase in acquisition level of each active skill, the active skill was acquired before the update and the skill was grown by consuming the skill growth book. If the active skill disappears because you did not reach the new level after the update, we will send you the corresponding skill growth book by mail. This only relevant to people that are level 39 and under. Skill specialization. The level at which you first acquire skill specialization has been adjusted from 25 to 15. So at level 15, you're gonna start getting skill specializations. When you first open it, you will receive 10 skill spec points, and you will receive the set amount of specialization points each time you level up. You get 2 skill spec points for each level up in the range of 15 to 30. 3 skill spec points are gained for each level from level 31 to 50. Skill spec points are not acquired from level 51 and above. The UI visibility of skills registered in the quick slot set has been improved. UI improvements. The expression of skills registered in the quick slot set in the weapon skills and skill specializations UI have been strengthened. You're basically gonna be able to see which skills you have equipped on the bar versus which you have not. The resonance selection switch system has been added. After the equipment resonates, you can select and switch the desired resonance by using a set number of characteristic resonance stones. So they're already changing the extremely RNG system so that you can select your resonance, probably with quite a bit of material. Let's see. Switch between characteristic resonance selection. Added a resonance selection toggle. Resonance selection switching is only available after the equipment's resonance is open. Resonance selection switching cost. On the tier 1 weapons, it costs 40 resonance stones and 3 million solent. On the armor, costs 20 resonance stones, and accessories cost 20 resonance stones. For Tier 1 Arc Bosses weapons. It costs 80 resonance stones. For Tier 2 weapons, 80 resonance stones. Tier 2 armors 40. Tier 2 accessories 40. Tier 2 Arc Boss weapons 160. New Arc Boss weapon resonance cost. Resonance system is also applied to newly added equipment. The single resonance cost of the new Arc Boss weapons is as follows. Resonance open conversion required resonance stone 8 pieces, so you need 8 resonance pieces to open the resonance initially. The point rules and rewards for material conversion have been updated and the UI has been improved. Through the ability to know when points have exceeded the last step when converting materials, the points of jewelry have been adjusted when converting materials, and some common jewels have been excluded from materials. UI improvement, improved to let you know how many points you have exceeded in the final stage. Adjustment of material conversion point. Basically, they're adjusting how many materials you need to craft lower and higher tiers of the different gems, like rare Marint, excellent Marint, and so on. So you can check the table, and the link is going to be in the description of this video. Added equipment conversion list. New Toland equipment has been added to the rewards obtainable through material conversion. We've seen this table in the first part of the patch notes. Guild. Related functions have been improved and some guild rewards have been enhanced. Added the guild tag feature and changed the guild introduction to be longer. The reward list for guild treasure chest has been changed so that you can obtain rewards commensurate with your efforts. Guild tag. The guild tag feature has been added and allows you to specify tags to introduce your guild and can be used as a guild search element. I'm guessing you can put in PvP or PvE tags and then people can search according to those tags. Yep, we can see from this picture, people can select PvE, PvP, and so on. Guild introduction. The maximum input limit for guild introduction has been expanded from 40 to 500 characters. Guild treasure chest. The guild treasure chest has low value compared to effort put into it, so the reward list has been changed to increase its value. The treasure chests are no longer awarded as items in your bag, but instead you obtain the components directly. You can get Soland from 1,000 to 150,000, and you can get a feature extraction stone, so I guess trait extraction stones from 1 to 5. Guild coin shop. The special material selection box has been added to a polishing crystal of the same grade. Guild content open. The conditions for opening guild content have been changed from completing the appendix gathering for each other codex to achieving level 7. I guess you're just opening the guild content. When you achieve level 7, you don't have to finish the appendix. The gameplay and reward experience for some content will be adjusted. Change the purchase limit by merging all general merchandise merchants into one. Resistance Alliance request that was previously sold by region will now be sold in a selection box format. The supply of some items has been adjusted. General merchants. The general merchants divided by region have been integrated into one. You can purchase the same items from any local merchants, and the purchase limits are also shared. Resistant contracts are provided in the form of selection box and can be purchased 6 times a week. Adjusted the supply of some items. To facilitate the production of growth stones, the supply of polishing crystals and parchment in field dungeons has been increased. The supply of rare omnipotent parchment has been reduced as it was supplied in excess of the production balance. Lithograph collection. Some of the growth-related items provided by the rubbing shop will be changed to material items. Growth-related items will be reorganized into jewelry. All materials so that they can be consumed in various ways. Open conditions apply according to the rubbing house level. This is to prevent equipment that should be used in the growth section from being accidentally used as a material. Weekly mission. The completion condition for the guild request complete mission has been changed to be completed when receiving the guild request with my contribution. Completion rewards in guild rewards. Change the rune box obtained from weekly missions to no longer be used automatically. Request. North, the quest manager of Castle Village does not offer the Black Howling Plains quest. Basically changing some quest givers. Change. The exchange that was previously available starting at level 15 has been changed to be available starting at level 14. Some system and UI convenience improvements. Improved control sensitivity. Improved the recognition of synergy expression in the rune system. Content management UI has been changed to make it easier to navigate codex information. Dev comment. The rotation delay time that was being applied to achieve natural character movement was being applied. Rather, we found that this can make the controls feel frustrating in terms of gameplay. To improve the inconvenience of playing and to make the operation smoother, we have improved the phenomenon of the speed decreasing when turning the direction during movement. Fixed clicking malfunctions that occurred due to HUD, etc. when rotating the camera by dragging. Reduced the rotation delay time when turning the character in wild or special transformation state. Change the camera rotation to be possible by dragging even when mouse cursor is located over the content notification, chat window, target UI, or important system message output area. Rune synergy expression. Socket icon display in the rune synergy list has been changed. Grade-based colors are applied to the synergy effect expression in the rune management UI and tooltips. We'll have to check these settings in game because the translation is way too difficult to unravel. Content management and content notification. The UI of the content management window has been improved. Category tabs have been added to the left of each codex, making it easier to browse codex information than before. When you do not have enough levels to progress through the adventure codex, recommended content will be displayed in the alert. Warehouse. When selecting multiple items from the warehouse, we have improved the system notification to provide awareness of the shortage of slots when the warehouse slots are insufficient. Main menu. Improve the function so that when running the main menu and pop-ups in the game, the last operated pop-up or main menu is displayed at the top. Tidal Tower. When performing Resistance Alliance Request 2, Tower of Tidal, the floor where the quest target is located has been improved to be displayed in the Tower of Tidal window. Also now in the window you'll see which weekly quest you have for which floor, so you can quickly access it. Rubbings or lithographs. The number of rubbings books can be registered has been improved so that it is displayed in the rubbing book icon displayed at the bottom of the item tooltip. The icon has been modified to be disabled when there are no more rubbing collections available for registration after they have already been registered. There's a bunch of preferences changes, and there's a bunch of gamepad changes as well. Some system error corrections, and the guide to hyperboosting server. The hyperboosting server will be terminated at the time of regular maintenance on Wednesday, August 28th, so 1 week from these patch notes. New characters can no longer be created on Hyperboost. You can transfer servers by purchasing a server transfer ticket until the regular maintenance on Wednesday, August 28th. Characters that have not undergone a separate server transfer will be integrated into either Callis or Griddle depending on their server affiliation. Please make sure to collect any Lucent sold in the Hyperboosting server exchange before the server integration begins. Please make sure to collect the Lucent distributed to your guild via Hyperboosting server mailbox before the merge. Event Guide, the beginning of Soaring. The attendance and cumulative login rewards events will begin in Toland, an unknown land that has finally been revealed. We can look into event details later, but it looks like we're getting additional tokens. And what I've heard is also there's gonna be double the rewards in dungeons, even though you'll have to use the tokens to achieve the rewards. Yeah, that's it. To celebrate the opening of the 3-star dimensional, a double up event will begin where you can obtain rewards twice from the 1-star and 2-star dimensional. We're also getting a new battle pass, and we're getting new character and weapon skins. There are also some known issues mentioned, but this is basically all of the patch notes for 21st of August 2024. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great day. Crazy Trick